Belum.
Good afternoon. Madam Hazina Binti Harmaini. We are from the IZZAH to represent about the effect of COVID-19 on e-commerce among Generation Y. First, let me introduce my group members. First, ANURA Binti Anwar 1043. Naima Binti SABRI 1044. Muhammad Alif Deni bin MAZLAN 1059. And one more IZZAH Binti AZUWAR 1044, and the last one is TAYMISHA 1066. So in the slide, we are going to present about introduction, data analysis of graph and chart, which is bar graph and pie chart. And the last one is conclusion. For introduction, I will explain the purpose of this data is to show the most factors that affect e-commerce among Generation Y in Selangor. Our respondents are totally from Selangor, and the data has been collected 600 respondents.
Okay, I am Nur ANURA Binti Anwar 1043. I will explain for bar graph that representative of the consumer behavior as an effect on e-commerce during COVID-19 among Generation Y in Selangor. As you can see at the bar graph category for horizontal X representative as number of respondent. Meanwhile, vertical Y will representative the number of respondent who are answer the question either strongly agree, agree, natural, disagree, and strongly disagree. Okay. At vertical Y, 429 representative the respondent who answer strongly agree. 19.7 who answer agree. 42 respondent who answer neutral. 15 respondent who answer disagree, and the last one, 13 respondent who answer strongly disagree. Okay, the number of majority respondent who answer the highest is 429, which is strongly agree. Meanwhile, respondent who answer the least is 13, which is strongly disagree. So we can conclude here that consumer behavior is the one factor that has an effect on e-commerce during COVID-19 among Generation Y in Selangor by having a strongly agreed number of 429 out of 600 respondents. That's all for me.
My name is TAYMISHA Santhirisekaran, and my matrix number is 08DPI19F1066. So next I'll be explaining about the bar graph that represents the customer satisfaction among Gen Y in Selangor who are satisfied in using e-commerce to purchase their goods and services. So as we know, bar graph, when the length or height is greater, the value also gradually is greater. So as I have mentioned above is the topic of the bar graph, and as you can see, the horizontal, or also known as the x-axis, represents the level of customer satisfaction, while the vertical axis, or also known as y-axis, represents the number of respondents. So in this study, the total number of respondents is 600. So as seen in the bar graph, the bar chart is depicting the relationship between the number of respondents and the level of customer satisfaction among Gen Y in using e-commerce to purchase their goods and services during COVID-19 pandemic in Selangor. Based on the bar graph illustrated, we can analyze that there is no changes as the bar graph does not increase and chooses to remain in a stable position, which has no number of respondents. So from this, we can conclude that there are no number of respondents who agree to the level of customer satisfaction. However, we can notice a slight change in the second bar graph as it slowly increases, which means that the consumers slightly agree, and it records a total number of 2 respondents who are satisfied overall among the total number of 600 respondents. Next, the graph pattern continues to increase gradually and moderately. It increases and records a total number of 36 respondents who have strongly agreed and are satisfied in using e-commerce during COVID-19. This shows that 36 out of 600 respondents have had a positive experience in using e-commerce during the pandemic. Furthermore, an increase and significant change has recorded, and this shows a positive relationship between the number of respondents and level of customer satisfaction when it records a total number of 125 respondents who are much more satisfied compared to the other numbers as stated earlier. On the other hand, there is a rapid shift and increase, and this records the highest rank in the overall bar graph where 433 respondents are highly satisfied with the e-commerce during COVID-19, and this shows that most of the consumers have had a positive experience in using e-commerce during the COVID-19.
Okay, my name is IZZAH binti AZUWAR. My number metric is 1061, and I will present about bar graph about price. As you can see, 441 from 600 respondents are strongly agree to the question that we contribute about the price. 120 respondents are agree about the price if you purchase through e-commerce. Meanwhile, 29 respondents are neutral, 6 respondents are disagree, and lastly, 2 of the 600 respondents are strongly disagree about the price. For conclusion, mostly of the respondents for our research are strongly agree that price through e-commerce are more cheap than they purchase at physical store. Other than that, Generation Y from Selangor like to purchase online because it have affordable price and high quality.
Hi, my name is MAZLAN. So for the last one is the pie chart. So this pie chart show that the effect of COVID-19 on e-commerce among Generation Y in Selangor. From this research that we collected from 600 respondents, the highest factors that affect e-commerce that we can see from the pie chart, majority of the respondents vote strongly agree that price is the main factor that affected to e-commerce with 33.8% with 441 respondents. Next is customer satisfaction, 33.2% with 433 respondents. And the last one is customer behavior, 32.9% with 429 respondents. To summarize, price is the most affected, whereas customer behavior is the less affected on e-commerce among Generation Y in Selangor.
Among Generation Y in Singapore. The highest factors effect COVID-19 on e-commerce among Generation Y in the Selangor are consumer behavior, which is 32.9%, followed by the customer satisfaction, 33.2%, and the last one is price, 33.8%. Based on our research, the future researcher can use research for the future reference purpose. That's all from us. Thank you.